southbound, looking at 25 minutes to the airport. On Eisenhower, 38 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Northbound I-55 is stuffed up. Weber 53 with crash in the right lane. And the Stevenson is 44 minutes, 355 to the drive. The Ryan, 32 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, side east to the merge. Mission 428, I'm Jim Talamonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sunshine will mix with clouds. A high of 23, clear and 17 overnight. And tomorrow, not as cold. We'll have clouds and sun and a high of 37. Currently, we have fair skies and 14 at O'Hare. It's 19 along the lakefront where our wind chill is 6 above. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf sitting in for Dan this week on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
All right, we're taking a break from President Trump on the verge of being just the third president in U.S. history to be impeached. We're going to be talking about that all morning long. But right now, we're going to talk about, what's happening in Illinois. Do you know that the Census Bureau, that the census is going to be on April 1st, 2020, Bruce? Did you know that?
Every 10 years.
Are you going to be the responsible person and fill out the census form correctly and properly?
No, I don't want to be represented.
What do you... Oh.
I want to leave it to the champagne socialists, as I like to call it. Well, I guess that's Dan who does that.
It's okay.
To determine what my life's course should be.
Well, experts worry about getting everyone counted because Illinois needs a good census count more than almost any other state, because I'm sure 2 or 3 congressional seats are going to be lost, I'm sure, when the census is done. With more on that, let's welcome back to the program our very good friend, and later she's going to sing with Bruce, Kristen McQueary from the Chicago Tribune. Hello, Kristen McQueary. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm warming up the vocal cords as we speak.
All right. Did you two practice, by the way, you and Bruce get together and
practice?
We've
been practicing for years.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
We did not practice. I was warned that because he was guest hosting, I might have to sing a number.
Okay, well, we won't tell anyone, but no one turn this radio station off because you're going to want to hear this song.
Because when I'm on,
at the end,
it's karaoke all week. That's what I do.
All right, so tell us how important this census is for congressional seats in Illinois.
Well, I mean, it's important, and we've been writing about what we've called the Illinois Exodus for the last few years, trying to get public officials to act more urgently with what has been a shrinking population base in the state and the city. Chicago is the only major city across the country that is losing population year after year, and Illinois has the greatest net loss of residents for the 5th straight year. So the first round of census numbers will come out at the end of December, and that will tell us what happened the year prior. And that's what we've been writing about with Exodus, just how many people packed up a moving van. The big national census, April 1st, is the day whereby we won't necessarily get the numbers, but everyone should have replied by then. All the households would have received the information. So next year, we'll know more nationally where the shifts are happening, and then we will see the next process play out, which is redistricting, which is looking at all those congressional seats and General Assembly seats and even Chicago City Council wards.
And speaking of that, Kristen, and I have no rooting interest in this because I moved out of the city in 1958, but if you care about poor people, which the sanctimonious liberal hypocrites seem to, or at least try to virtue signal that they do within the city, you would think that they would draw a map of the wards that would give poor people, the dispossessed, a chance at proper representation. And yet it seems like they cover their own heinies first, and then the scraps go to the poor people. Am I correct about this?
You must have read a really wise
Yes, it
column
was written.
in
I
the
have in
Chicago
my
Tribune.
Did
hand
you
right now
just-
a column written by one Kristen McQueary
in the Chicago
in the
Tribune, which
Chicago
you can
Tribune,
see.
which
and you can
says
follow her
exactly
on
that.
Twitter at State House Chick. by the
So
way.
so explain.
I'm actually
explain.
not State House Chick anymore.
Yes.
It's
What
just
happened?
McQueary. It's just McQueary Kristen now. It's a long story, but
Okay.
it's at McQueary Kristen. Yes. So remap at the Chicago City Council level. One of the worst things you can do to disenfranchise communities that are already struggling is to carve them up. And that's what the council historically has done. Nobody actually wants to represent those really struggling areas of Englewood or places of high violence. So you have all these progressives talking about wanting to serve these populations and making that a top priority. Well, they should then make those wards compact and make it easier for them to get services and infrastructure needs. I interviewed one alderman for the 15th ward who's on the southwest side, and his ward is basically shaped like an X.
Really?
It is hard to represent an area like that. And it does not serve a neighborhood like Back of the Yards. They have 5 different aldermen representing 4 blocks.
Oh my gosh.
These areas deserve to have compact and contiguous representation, and they have not.
But the map making progress or process may be hindered because you don't have the old guys there. Dick Mell's gone; he retired. Alderman Joe Moore, Patrick O'Connor; those two were beat in their bids for re-election. So who's going to be in charge? Who's going to be the leader?
So, well, that's a very good question. How much the mayor inserts herself into this process will be interesting. Ron sort of tried to stay out of it. During the last remap, he was just coming into office when they were arguing over the map, and they needed an extension even because they couldn't agree on a map. So we'll see how much Mayor Lori Lightfoot inserts herself into the process. But it'll be the finance and budget committees, and we know the finance committee is now headed by Scott Legisback, so he is a more, I think, fair-minded and open to change type of alderman than Burke certainly was. And so maybe this time around we will see a fairer map for the south and west sides. But that's what I was calling out in the column, is just the hypocrisy of the progressives on the council, who they will still on those north side wards want to protect their own territory and, like Drew said, their heinies, their jobs. We'll see.
Yeah, but also, I mean, just how does this work practically? I mean, if resources wind up being allocated to these bad areas because there's a fairer map, that means it's got to come from somewhere, and it's going to be from the richer areas. Are they going to want to fork it over? Are they going to want to put their money where their pieties are?
It's more of a bureaucratic problem when you have 5 or 6 aldermen representing an area like Back of the Yards. They each have what's called menu money, each alderman, and if you don't have sort of agreement on how that money should be spent, if you represent one side of the street but not the other, and you're trying to get better street lighting or a street repair project, it's just harder to deliver resources to these areas when you have multiple aldermen. So it's not necessarily going to be a squeeze like a balloon where the north side has to give to the south side. Okay. It's more just that they should be compact and contiguous wards.
Okay. All right.
Are you guys ready?
Oh,
Kristen?
yeah. Right. Because I had
I
mentioned the word somewhere.
You mentioned the word somewhere, and that's the song
yes.
that she wants to sing somewhere from West Side Story.
Yes.
Kristen,
are we going to sing together?
Sure.
You're a big Broadway fan, right, Bruce?
Who isn't?
What song has he not liked, Kristen?
Do you know that singing Broadway tunes, they've just shown, there's a study, can help stave off Alzheimer's?
And dementia?
Yeah.
Did you know that, Kristen? Did you care?
I didn't. I'm not sure it's working with Bruce, but...
Oh, God.
All right, so here's
the
the deal.
unkindest cut of all.
Are you a soprano or a second soprano, and what is your vocal training? We'd like to know before we start singing.
I have zero vocal training. So
Good.
You weren't in show choir or church choir or anything?
I was not. No,
That's
I
great.
did some children's plays when I was younger, but
Okay.
this is my favorite song of all the Broadway musicals that I've seen.
Okay.
Well,
This is my
it's
favorite.
pretty high. You know that, right? I mean, your vocal
No,
range
I
has
don't
to be...
know that. Are we singing a cappella here, or what?
No,
we're
we've
singing
got-
with a pella.
It's
Go
kind
ahead,
of,
yes.
Karaoke on AM radio. Nothing's better. All right, you ready, Kristen?
Yeah, I mean, I only know like the first verse, but let's go for
Just
it.
hum a few.
Okay, here we go.
If you didn't have Alzheimer's, maybe you'd know the words, Kristen. All right, go ahead.
All right, good luck to both of you. It's Bruce starts because it's the male. No, the man starts.
I don't
first.
know. Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
There's a place for us. Who's this other guy singing with me right now? A place for us. Peace and quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere. Go. I'd have us go a cappella. Shut up the music. What is it? Keep going.
That's all I got.
Do it again.
Well,
It
where's
was
the rest
beautiful.
of the song?
Did you hear her?
What, you know
She
what?
sounded beautiful.
I did. I see what you're saying. Shut up.
Now you need to do it in a Spanish accent. You gotta,
That's
true.
you gotta roll your R's a little bit.
I don't think I can pull off the actual character, but it is a lovely song.
Say,
Yes.
so go, no, try it.
You should
Oh
take voice
no,
lessons.
Anita. Oh no, it isn't true. Not for me. Go ahead, try that.
I have to work on my R's.
Oh.
Why don't you? What is your Christmas? Give us a preview of your Christmas song this year.
We are
Well,
going to be doing the drummer boy. Oh, I thought we
Bruce.
told everybody we're doing the drummer boy.
No.
Okay, now we're not doing the drummer boy.
But we used to do, my favorite is Baby, It's Cold Outside. You want to hear a little ditty from that, Kristen?
Yes, I remember. Didn't you do that previously? Are
Why
you guys
doesn't
gonna make
Kristen
more
sing it
politi-
with you? I'd like to hear the two
You're gonna do
women
more
sing to each
politically
other.
correct?
Yes. We went old school. We went real.
Okay.
A little pitchy here.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
Been hoping that you drop
so
in.
very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like
My
ice.
mother will start.
That's enough.
No, it gets
Beautiful,
better. It gets
what's
better.
your hurry?
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to that fireplace roar.
So really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry.
Well, maybe just a half a drink more.
I'll put some records on while I pour.
The neighbors might think.
But baby, it's bad out there.
Hey, what's in that drink?
No cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew how.
Your eyes are like starlight
to
now.
break the spell.
I'll take your hat. Your hair looks swell.
I ought to say no, sir.
Mind if I move in closer?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my pride?
I really can't stay.
Baby, don't hold out. Baby, it's cold outside.
It's still.
I'm snapping my fingers. This is great.
Kristen, in my head, when I'm singing that, I sound like Michael Bublé, accent aigu over the E.
So
But then you hear
embarrassing.
it, and it's like, okay.
Oh,
it's fine.
okay.
Thank you for putting up with that.
Yes, Kristen, lovely voice. Happy holidays, and thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. And you're on Twitter now at McQueary Kristen, correct?
That's correct.
And you can-
That's correct.
okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And you can read her column. Exodus in Chicago, new census numbers will jumpstart remap hypocrisy at the Tribune. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer
Hallelujah! Holy
on AM 560.
Where's the Tylenol?
The Answer.
The Lou Dobbs Financial Report is brought to you by Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Visit signaturebank.bank for your commercial banking needs.
I'm Lou Dobbs. U.S. industrial production rose in November. Ford to add jobs in Detroit and invest $1.5 billion. Those stories next.
Guys, waking up over and over to urinate is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to urinate at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free. Call 1-800-424-7